Hi everyone, hope you're well. I decided to do sort of two looks in one with my midweek makeup. So I saw a conversation recently on Facebook between some of my friends about this new glitter lipstick that's out, and apparently it's super glittery and it looks really like sparkly and stuff on your lips, and everybody was going, oh my god, it's really expensive and where can I get it and this sort of thing. And I was like, well, you can do that in a much cheaper and a much easier way. All you need is a bit of fixed gel, so something like this is from Stargazer, but you can get it from all sorts of other companies as well. Manic Panic do it. And then your own face glitter as well, so I've got various different colours here. Also, somebody said that they really liked the look that I had on the cover photo for my Mariluna vlog, so I thought I'd do the eyes from that and then I'd do the glitter lips as well. Basically, I've done my foundation and I've done my cat eye. I've just kind of sketched it out with a really cheap Stargazer pen. It says it's a permanent eyeliner, and actually it's quite rubbish, but it's really good for just kind of sketching out the basic cat eye area, because that just takes me forever because I have hooded eyes and it's just, I'm not very accurate and that kind of thing, and I'm sure it's probably still out, but it's as close as I can get it, damn it. So I've done that, and I've also gone over my eyes just with a super pale purple eyeshadow. So you can basically use anything you like. I go over my eyes with foundation, so I like to have something over the top of that just to kind of fix the foundation in place. I've done all that, and now I'm going to start sketching out the shape of the dark eyeshadow that I've kind of done above in a socket sort of thing, false crease. So you can use any dark eyeshadow you like, or in fact any eyeshadow you like. Use any colour you like, but I'm using Time from the Alice Through the Looking Glass Urban Decay palette because it's just such a really nice dark blue grey kind of colour. And I'm also using this brush here, and it's a really lovely sort of accurate brush. It's got this kind of point to it there, and it's really cheap. It was like a couple of quid maybe from Wilko's, so you don't have to spend loads of money. So anyway, I'm just going to take a tiny amount of that eyeshadow onto the brush, and then I'm just going to start sketching out the new crease on my eye, and I'm going to start kind of in the middle and then take it down and out above the cat eye line. So you want a bit of space in between the two because you're going to be filling that later on with the light colour and the glitter. So then I'm just going to take that around here on this side, and just very gently place it where you want it. It's really good with this brush because it's just so accurate. It's got such a thin edge to it. And then you just kind of build it up a little bit, make it a little bit thicker, extend it. You can extend it past the point of the cat eye if you like. Basically just very slowly build it up and make it bigger and thicker. And you want to kind of bring it in quite close to your eyeline on the inside. You can see that. You can probably also see where my rubbish eyeliner has kind of bled, but that's fine because we can tidy that up later. You want it to be thinner on the inside corner and then kind of thickening as you go out, sort of a little bit like that. Okay, I'm going to try and replicate that on the other side. This is where it all goes horribly wrong. What's really nice though about this, and you'll see in a minute what I mean, is that you can kind of correct, if you've made any mistakes, you can correct them quite easily. So once you're happy with the rough shape, you kind of want to do a little bit of blending just to soften it up a little bit because it's quite harsh at the moment. So I'm just going to use the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette brush, blending brush, and you can use any blending brush you like really, but just give it a little bit of a softening. Now this next bit is completely optional, but if you like you can kind of soften it a bit more on the inner corner. I'm just going to be using a regular sort of flat brush, which is the one from the Alice palette. You can use any you like, and a slightly darker shade of purple. This one is from Boutique, which is from Sainsbury's, and I'm just going to put a little bit of it on the inner corner here Now comes the fun part. So using any eyeshadow primer you like, I'm going to be using NYX's Proof It, but I've also used NYX's Milk before in the past with this sort of look. I'm going to put that on my eyelid everywhere where there isn't already colour. Right the way out to the outside edge. Just cover that entire area with primer. And that's a nice kind of tacky base for your glitter. So taking the glitter of your choice, you can use any kind of actual glitter, you can use a really sparkly eyeshadow, anything like that that's really going to sparkle and shine. I am using Barry M's body glitter and it's so sparkly, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's kind of really iridescent shades. Loading the brush up with loads of glitter and placing it on top of that primer. And you want to use a lot, right? You want to use loads. You want to really stick it to the primer. It doesn't matter if you go over your eyeliner a little bit at this point, because you're going to be going back over that with a better eyeliner. Take it all the way out to the wing and just press tons and tons on there. So once you've layered on as much glitter as you can possibly get away with, we're going to clean it all up and sort out the cat eye as well. So I'm going to take NYX's Epic Black Mousse. I bought this recently and I'm still getting my head around it, but I really quite like it. And I've got this kind of angled brush. Now I did actually buy this from NYX, but you can get them also from Wilko's. This kind of really very, very thin tip brush is absolutely brilliant for doing really accurate eyeliner. So I'm just going to do the usual thing and dip the brush into the mousse and then start painting it onto my eyes back where the other one was. This angled brush is brilliant. You can get such an accurate, tiny, tight line. So I'm just giving my eyes a basic line to start off with, and then we'll go back over that cat eye. All I can say is if you're not very good at these and you want to be good at them, just keep persevering. That's all you can do, is just keep trying and trying and trying and practicing, and eventually you'll get it right. I'm still in the practicing stage. And obviously if you're a fellow hoodie, don't put too much on the inner corner of your eye, because you're just going to use up all that space that you've got the glitter on at the moment, and you're not going to be able to see the glitter quite so well. The other thing to bear in mind also is that it doesn't have to be perfectly accurate underneath, because we're going to be swiping that away with some concealer in a minute as well. So that's another top tip. Okay, so we're just going to add a finishing touch to the eye, the top of the eye, before we put anything else on, and it's just going to be a little bit of highlight above. Now I'm just going to be using the same brush, and I'm not going to clean it, I'm just going to use whatever's left over, but I'm only going to be using a regular sparkly eyeshadow. Now again, pale sparkly eyeshadow doesn't have to be anything in particular. I'm going to be using Royal Flush from the Alice palette, but you can use whatever you like, and that's just as a brow bone highlight, just to finish everything off. Blend it into that purple and out over the top. So right, time to clean up the fallout, which is, there's quite a lot of it. I don't know if you can see it, but there is quite a lot. Not quite sure how I'm going to do this, because obviously the makeup is quite tacky underneath, but I'm just going to try swiping it away with a tissue. Another thing you could do when you do this is you could try baking your face. So you could put your foundation and everything else on as regular, and then put loads and loads and loads of regular translucent powder on top, and then obviously you get the fallout, and then you just kind of swipe the whole lot away with a brush. So actually I would probably recommend doing that next time. But anyway, I'm going to be going over the sparkly stuff that's left on my skin with a concealer, and this one is just a NYX concealer. Seems to have lost all its print at the moment, but anyway, it's one of the NYX HD concealers. I'm just going to swipe that onto my eye bags and then up along the edge of my cat eye, just to give it a bit of extra definition, and then down in the Wayne Goss triangle if you watch his stuff. Good thing about using loads of concealer like this is that you can kind of pat it out over your face, so if you've been wiping it with a tissue like I just have, then you can pat that over the areas of the foundation that you just took off. There is method in my madness. Make sure you've got clean fingers, mine are not, and then pat that stuff. Obviously be really careful when you're patting around where your flick is, you don't want to have to go back over that again. Now I'm actually using quite a dark concealer, they didn't have my colour when I went to go and buy some, and I was impatient, so I just bought the colour that they had. But if you're using a really pale concealer to do this, then it really brightens up your under eye area and makes you look really awake, which is quite nice, especially if you have great big eye bags like I do. So once you've done your concealer, you obviously want to set it in place. Make sure that there are no creases in it before you do the setting. I'm just going to be using a regular powder here. You can use any powder you like. This is translucent, it's from Collection, sheer loose powder it says. And actually, I don't know if you know this, but loose powder actually tends to be thicker particles, so bigger particles than the pressed powder. So you usually get a more flawless look from pressed powder. However, the one that I've got at the moment isn't translucent, it's quite a solid colour. And it comes up quite opaque on my face, and that just makes it look a bit cakey. So I am just going to be using this translucent powder just to set everything in place. My eyes are quite sparkly, but they're not sparkly enough, so before I put my mascara on, I'm going to be putting a little bit more glitter on. I have this really amazing stuff. It's called Graffiti Glitter by Jeremy Russell, and I've had it for ages. I should probably throw it away really, but it's just so amazing. It's just like a glitter gel, and you'll see in the picture of me at Mera Luna that I've got these kind of dots of sparkle under my eyes, and I use this. Now you can use glitter gel, you can use those little sparkly gems, but I quite like this stuff because I can make it whatever size I like and put it wherever I like, and it sticks, which is always good. So I'm going to start off by putting one in each of the corners of my eyes, just underneath the beginning of the flick, and then I'm going to do 3 in each direction. So I made a bit of a mess of those, but anyway, you get the idea. And then finally some mascara to finish it all off. It occurs to me before I finish doing that, the other thing you can do is use like a silver or white pencil on the inner part of your eye in the waterline, just to give it even more sparkle. So before I forget again, I'm going to put a bit of that in now. This one's a Barry M one, bold silver, and it's a really soft pencil and it's waterproof as well, which is really good. Probably best to do that before you add the glitter dots, just so you know. So that is my eyes. Let's move on to the lips.